How would you stay motivated?
How do I really stay motivated? For me, it's still the fact that I have to get those things done. The fact that I really, and for me, the other thing is there is no plan B at the moment. Plan A is A. Plan B is to make plan A work. Plan C is to make plan A work. Like the only plan is to make the brand Victoria Nyanzi work.
Live with Simon Chris Makanga. If it's your very first time here, go ahead and subscribe. Our special guest tonight is Victoria Nyanzi Ateng. She's a seasoned marketing and public relations consultant. We are going to talk about personal branding. If you are an entrepreneur, if you are somebody maybe working in an office, you are a corporate person, you are a leader, you are a follower, you're doing something. We are going to talk about personal branding and why is it relevant. Victoria Nyanzi Ateng.
Yes.
It's a big pleasure to have you on Live with Simon Chris Makanga.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
And I don't take it lightly, by the way. I understand you are a very busy lady. I'm so grateful for what you do.
Thank you.
So now let's get to it. Victoria, we're going to have a conversation about personal branding.
Yes.
Was it intentional for you to dress like that?
Yes, very intentional.
Why?
One, I often dress like this on a daily. Like Monday to Friday, I'll be wearing my heels, I'll be having a coat on. So I tend to dress like this on a daily.
By choice?
I would say, one, by choice. Two, because right now, that is... Also, it's my personal style.
We'll get to that. But who needs personal branding?
Everyone needs personal branding. We are brands. I tell people, by the time you're born, when you have your name, that you're a brand. So we call you Simon Chris Makanga because that's your brand. Then everything that comes with that. So let's say when we say, you don't know Simon Chris Makanga, that guy that always has dirty shoes. Now that's your brand.
Let's go slow. I hope my shoes are not friends. Did you first look at my shoes?
No, I'm giving you an example.
Let it be a good example.
So let's say someone...
And these I always wear the same shirts. I've received such comments.
Yes, you see, now that is the perception. That's your brand. So they'll say, you don't know Simon? No, that guy that always wears this type of shirts. Like people tell me, that babe that wears heels, Monday to Sunday, she's wearing her heels. So those small components also make up our brands.
When I hear you trying to explain like that, what really comes into my mind is that for person, okay, like you said, everybody needs personal branding.
Yes.
Could be a business, could be
an entrepreneur, a career professional. Yes.
Means you have to do the same thing consistently.
For you to stand out. Yes.
Isn't it costly?
Everything comes with a cost. Everything comes. The funny thing is, there is literally not so many things that are free in life. Everything is going to come with a cost. But maybe to take you a step back, why sometimes when you become intentional about building your personal brand, it's going to work out for you is if you start with identifying where you want to go as a person. Like set some goals. If I'm in this place, like in the place I was in before and I was uncomfortable, so I identified that if I'm uncomfortable in this space as Victoria, then where do I want to go in the next 5 years? Who is that Victoria that I want to see? So, the Victoria I want to see should be known as this person. She should be a renowned person in public relations. She should be speaking on panels. She should be doing these things. Particularly, I even identified the amount of money she should be earning.
How do you measure the success of a personal brand?
How do you measure the success of a strong personal brand? One, it's the perception, what people say about you is very important. What people say about you. And then if it starts to transit into things like you getting different opportunities, if you're a business owner, you can even measure the success of your brand through the money that you're making. Because I'll give you an example. There is someone that has a very strong personal brand. The lady does makeup. She's called Mona Faces. So at the moment, when you speak about Mona Faces, you're going to know she's the best makeup artist in Uganda. That is her brand. Well, once she was doing quality work. So delivering on her promise, doing quality work, having a strong social media presence, and networking with the right people.
So, Victoria, you mean personal branding is real work?
Yes.
So there is a lot of discipline involved.
Yes.
So what do I lose if I don't concentrate or focus on personal branding?
For anybody, a business owner, a career professional that is not building their personal brand, they are losing out on opportunities. For career professionals, you're losing out on opportunities of promotion. You're losing out on opportunities of being seen by other people. You're losing out on being in spaces where you're supposed to be in. And most importantly, you're losing out on people knowing your skill set and what you come with as a person. So you are there, you do your job at the bank so well. Maybe you're a relationship manager. You are the best in what you're doing. But we don't know that you are the best. That means somebody else that is not good is going to get the opportunity that you deserve because they're out there showcasing that they do this. So you lose out on opportunities.
So the difference between a successful brand and a struggling brand, there are disciplines involved.
A lot of discipline in there. I don't know if you've ever had, all of us have had this quote of, there are people that are less skilled than you, but getting the opportunities that you're supposed to be getting and doing the work you're supposed to be doing because they are showing up, because they are simply showing up. And then you complain, a corporate will complain, no, that manager, I even help him, he doesn't know what he's doing. The manager was showing up every day. He was being in the right spaces. He was networking with people. He was speaking about that little skill set that he has. And now he's put in a space, he's your manager. So all you have to do is, if you feel he's not the best person, start speaking up about yourself.
Wow.
You do this work, speak up about it. Because we see so many brands shining and entrepreneurs complain, no, whatever they are selling is even not nice. I do better work. Speak up about the work. If you do the best, make us see the value in what you do.
How did you know that you're going to end up into personal branding and speaking to people and sharing wisdom about personal branding? How did you know you're going to end up there?
Well, I shared with you some bits about my story growing up, but ideally as a child, I grew up wanting the best for myself. These are things that we reflect on when we grow. You see your life and you say, oh my God, it's funny, I wanted this. So I grew up wanting the best for myself, but I didn't know how to get the best for myself. So like the example I gave you, at some point I just went off track and was doing something totally different. And then picking myself up, I went through 6 months of learning how to become a better person.
6 months.
6 months of learning how to become a better person. Because I even went, the common question I asked Google was how to change. Like I was on the search engine and I asked Google how to change. And Google gave me so many answers. Do this, do that, reevaluate, self-assess, check yourself, do that. So after doing all of those things that I learned on how do you become a better person, how do you start showing up differently, how do you make people see your skills, and how do you, basically it was how do you have a rebirth as a professional. If I'm to give you a very clear example, it's how do you have a rebirth from someone that was coming back from the nightclub at 7 a.m. to someone that sits in boardrooms and discusses business. Like that, those two people cannot match. Yes. So how you create that rebirth was what I was looking for. And when I was able to find the answers, and the answers,
you that person?
Yes.
Tell me.
That's why I'm so passionate about speaking about people building their brands, because I know it's possible, it's doable. Anybody can change. Anybody can transform.
Victoria.
It's a good life. It's the good life for a young girl in their 20s. That's what we call the good life.
What did you learn from yourself?
So many lessons. And the biggest lesson I learned is intentionality. Like being intentional about the things that we are doing. Because right now I see young girls, 23, 24, they are taking bold moves. And when I ask them, how are you doing that? They tell me, no, because I have this idea, so I'm working on it like that. So for me, my biggest lesson was intentionality. Like living with intention, even that how you speak to someone, whatever you do, even when you're applying for a job, even your actions on social media, when you're being intentional about them, because everything has like a repercussion at the end of the day. Everything will have a repercussion. So the biggest lesson for me was intentionality.
Victoria, I have heard about this saying, rebranding. Rebranding. We have rebranded.
Yes.
Let's not talk about companies.
Yeah, individuals.
Let's talk about individuals.
Yeah.
How do I know that I need to rebrand?
Now, you see the challenge. Many people think that when I announce on my social media that I have rebranded, I have rebranded. Others think that when I go and do a corporate photo shoot and then update my pages on social media, I have rebranded. So then after you updating the pages on social media, what next?
And why do I do it?
Exactly. So the questions should be, what do you want to achieve? That's why I always attach personal branding to goal setting. Like, what do you want to achieve? You see, when you don't know where you are going, you don't take steps, or you don't even get there. So you're going to stay here. So the question is, what do you want to achieve with what you're doing? So if I have done a rebrand, or mentally, if I think, 1, I'm uncomfortable with the job I'm doing, I need to get a new job. 2, I'm uncomfortable with the friends I have, maybe I need to be in spaces of more developmental people. 3, I'm uncomfortable with what people know about me, I need to change it.
So all of those are pushing factors
Yes.
to rebranding.
So they're going to push me to rebrand. 1, I'm uncomfortable with what people know about me. I'm uncomfortable with my friends, and I'm uncomfortable with the job. So I come back. So if what people know about me is what I'm uncomfortable with, what new thing do I want them to know about me? Then I conduct a SWOT analysis. I check my skills, I check my weaknesses, I check the opportunities and threats. Okay, so these are my skills. I was a very good wine drinker. Then I'm also a very good writer. I'm a very good social media manager. So I map out the skills, the strength that I don't want people to know anymore. And then can I focus on the strength that I want them to know? So then what are my weaknesses? Maybe my weakness is inconsistency. My second weakness might be, I don't know, I will try and identify it. And I also write those down. Then what are the opportunities now for the new person that I have to give birth to or rebrand to? Maybe I might have a job. Maybe I might have collaborations with different people in Uganda Marketers Association or anything. I also note those down. And then what are the threats of this person that I want to rebrand to? People will call me fake. They'll think I'm living a fake life. I'm going to lose friends. So I also note those down. Now when I come and announce a rebrand, 1, I've even identified how I'm going to start showing up. So I'm not going just to come on social media today and say, I have rebranded and now I'm chasing after my goals. I need to know which goals did I identify that I'm going to chase after. So I have a goal to get a job in a parastatal in the next 2 years. Can I now start showing up on LinkedIn and posting about marketing and communication for parastatals? Because in the next 2 years, I want to be identified as that person. So my rebrand is going to have a direction. It's not just going to be a picture with an announcement of a rebrand and I stop there. And that's the biggest mistake that many people make.
And when I hear you speak like that, what rings into my mind is the conversation we had earlier on, being intentional.
Yes.
So
being intentional.
Things just don't happen.
Not really.
So the person we see here, Victoria Nyanzi Atenyi.
Yes.
This is a well what? How can I say it?
I thought about
a well thought of project.
Oh my God. Oh my God. I'm laughing because you called it the same way my clients call it. We were having a conversation about goal setting because people often overthink setting goals. If we don't overthink it, then we neglect important goals. So you tell someone set goals and we always focus on financial goals, travel goals. I want to travel to this country. I want to make this amount of money. And I tell people, can we also focus on personal brand goals? Because if you are intentional about where you want to go as a personal brand, then the financial goals are going to work out. The travel goals are going to work out. Like if I identify that right now, I'm doing this job, but in the next 2 years, I want to be doing head of communications. So the goals I'm going to set are going to be the courses I have to learn, the people I need to meet. And you notice that those goals are going to lead me to the 7 million goal that I want of a salary. So we were going through that goal setting session and I showed these girls my 10-year goal plan. And every year has one specific goal, just one goal. And they were like, Coach, this is an entire project.
Have you read Essentialism?
No, really.
It speaks a lot to what you're saying. Capitalizing on the small things.
Yes.
Small things every day.
Because they lead you to the bigger picture.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So now you took 6 months of you discovering yourself, what I might say.
Yes.
Then after 6 months, you come out.
Yes.
A fully branded new Victoria Nyanzi.
Yes. Yes.
Did you add on any other name?
Not really. It stayed Victoria Nyanzi. Oh, before I was operating as Jehasi's future wife. I told you.
Tell me.
I told you it was a totally different world. So
Wow.
Jahas is an American rapper, and I used to love rap music a lot. So, you pick up something just like people tend to pick up different names. So I had picked up a name.
How old were you then?
That was in between 23 to 26.
Must have been a great experience.
It was. But the funny thing is, this is a story I always tell, that on December 2021 is the time when I felt uncomfortable. And I was asking myself, are you really sure that this is the life you want to live? Are you sure that your dreams stop here?
Well, we still have Victoria Nyanzi Ateny, and she's so good at personal branding, and she's a coach, a consultant. You started the African Sisters Network.
Yes.
Why did you start it?
The African Sisters Network, one like the name African, I want it to be a community that can speak to African girls of African descent, and African girls all around the world. That is why the name is the African. And it's sisters because it's for girls. So what we do is, or what I do is, we inspire African girls to tell their stories boldly and unapologetically while building their brands. So we offer personal brand coaching, career development sessions, and some coaching into entrepreneurship. But all of this is tailored onto one thing: telling your story. Like right now, all of us do the same things in the world. It's so funny that we do the same things. What you're doing is telling people's stories using podcasts. I tell people's stories using written content.
So now, Victoria, how would you stay relevant? We have changes every day in technology, in our habits, in how we conduct ourselves. We elevate every day.
Yes.
You as a personal branding coach, how would you stay relevant?
Recently, I created my own module, and I told people my understanding of personal branding, it has P's.
P's.
Yes, P's, the word P's, yes. P, the letter P. That there is perception, like, so you are existing, but there are people, so people have a perception about you. And that's the second P, people, perception. Then you have the power to change that perception on platforms, social media platforms. So how do you change that perception? You're going to create content that is solving a problem. Now, when you're solving that problem, you can then sell something about the problem you're solving, and then you make a profit. Because so every time people speak about personal branding, especially those that have really understood it to a deeper level, their next question is, so how do I monetize this? How do I monetize my personal brand? So I take them back. Not until you are solving a problem, you're not making profit. So I created my 4 Ps for someone to understand personal branding if they want to make money out of it.
Is there a bad personal branding habit? When you walk around the streets, are you faced with some bad elements of personal branding? Are there people you look at and you're like, wow, this is fabulous?
That's funny. Let me say, the bad element of personal branding, what would it be? I think not just showing up as your authentic self. You see, no, being your authentic self is doing what makes you happy and what makes you comfortable. If Agatha, what makes her happy is the canvas shoes she's wearing. When she starts wearing my shoes, she's not going to be comfortable. So that is one, like, just trying to be somebody else, trying to fit into somebody else's shoes, is because you're not going to be comfortable. You're going to walk in the shoes that are not yours, and in the long run, you're going to fall off the track, like, because you're just not being yourself. Like,
so what is the difference between being intentional and being yourself?
You can be yourself and still be intentional. In Luganda, let's say, oine chirubirirwa. So okola byonna byokola ng'oyina ekiruubirira.
You want to go somewhere.
Being intentional is you are doing things because you have a plan. So when you're doing them, you know these things are going to lead me here. Whatever I'm actioning on today is going to lead me here. So you action on it knowing this is going to lead me here. So someone intentional, when you reach out to them and you have an opportunity for them, they have their CV ready. Someone intentional has their LinkedIn profile fully optimized, because they know that a recruiter can come on my profile any day, anytime. That is the level of intentionality. They tell you, can you send me your CV? You have to edit it instantly. You don't have to look for a resume writer to edit it for you, because you know opportunity can find you anywhere.
In I've always wanted to have a conversation with a strongly ambitious person like you?
Oh my God. Strongly ambitious is
You're too ambitious.
but I'm very ambitious.
But where is the thin line between being too ambitious and self-centered, or being selfish?
Wow. The thin line or the merger between the two is the desire to help people. Like there is that desire to help people. There is that desire for some bit of impact. Like you have seen yourself go through something and you would want to help other people not go through the same. So there is that. Of course, you want yourself to be in the spaces that you want to be in, but you would want other people to also be in those spaces.
You know, one thing I've come to realize in life, people who are too ambitious and people who discover their purposes on earth, they tend to hit the hardest ends. They are faced by most of the difficulties in life. How would you stay motivated? I don't think it's all rosy.
It's crazy. The world is crazy. The
How
world
do you
is
stay
crazy
motivated,
because you have all of these big goals that you want to crush. Sometimes you even think that you'll not crush them. So it's crazy. But how do I really stay motivated? For me, it's still the fact that I have to get those things done. The fact that and for me, the other thing is there is no plan B at the moment. Plan A is A. Plan B is to make plan A work. Plan C is to make plan A work. Like the only plan is to make the brand Victoria Nyanzi work.
How would you want to be supported at the African Sisters Network?
In terms of someone coming out to support?
Yeah, how would you want somebody to support you?
Well, let me see.
If there is any kind human being out there that resonates with your dream of building young girls with good personal branding habits, how would you want somebody to help you?
Honestly, I would really want, we were speaking yesterday and we're like, our goal is to at least have 500 girls in the network. 500 girls, 100 in Uganda, 100 in Kenya, 100 in Uganda, Kenya, Tanzania, and then Rwanda, and 100 all over the world. Like, we would want to reach as many girls as possible, just help them, because I really want to call it helping them, help them discover themselves as people, help them just align their lives, figure out what they're supposed to do, then start showing up intentionally for themselves. So we would really want to grow our numbers in that level. Like we would want to scale out in these different countries, because it's something that many girls need. It's something that they need. They need people. They need to have like a pocket mentor, a pocket coach, and they literally can't afford to have one.
So let's do some little rapid questions. But before we get there, but remember, it's not a courtroom. Feel free to say pass.
Okay. I see myself passing on all of them.
But before we get to that, do you have any question for me?
Yes.
Hey.
Yes. I have a question. I had it since I received the invitation. Why is the podcast called Love with Simon Chris Makanga?
Live with Simon Chris.
Live, eh?
It's live.
Oh, great. I thought it's love.
So is it now answered?
Yes. If it's live, yeah. I thought it's love. You know, you hear these radio programs in the night of each love. So I was like, oh, this way.
You thought I was mending broken hearts here?
Yes.
So had you carried one?
No. I was waiting for how the conversation is going to lead to love. Eh?
You're kidding me. So all along in your mind, you're debating.
Yeah, but how am I going to be now? So the podcast is love. Yes. Well, we shall wait for when the conversation about love comes in, but I have no answers.
Let's talk about love. Are you married?
I'm engaged.
Oh, how does it feel?
It feels good.
Are you so strict? Other people have said, Victoria is so strict.
At some point, yeah.
Are you fierce?
I don't think so. I don't think so.
Now let's get to the rapid questions. Feel free not to answer. It's not a courtroom. Your guilty pleasure?
Pass.
Are you going to pass everything?
Pass.
Short-tempered or even-tempered?
Even-tempered. Yes.
How do you deal with the disappointment?
I cry. Yeah, I cry.
Your childhood memory?
The best childhood memory? Our father used to shower us when we were young. We grew up so much with our dad. So all the memories of him visiting us at school, taking us to hospital when we were sick, so many beautiful memories of our dad.
I'd like you to look into this camera and speak to the little girls who look up to you. How should they get to where you are? In just about 30 seconds.
All right. If someone really wants to just not get to where I am, but just become a different person, become different, have people embrace you and know you for what you come with as a person, as a woman, as a girl, then all you have to do is just be fearless. Don't let anyone intimidate you. Don't let anyone tell you that you can't do this or you can't do that, because you can do anything. And then the most important thing is now know where you want to go. Where do you want to go as Carol, as Peruth, as Margaret? Because if you have a picture painted of this is what I want to achieve, you're going to be able to live in the life of what you want to achieve. Otherwise, bye.
Wow, interesting. Well, friends, thank you so much. It's been an amazing conversation with Victoria Nyanzi Ateny. One thing I want to leave with you from what I've learned from Victoria is that setting goals is very important. And being intentional at each and everything that we do is very, very important. My name is Simon Chris Makanga, and may the good Lord of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob be with you until we meet in another video. But for now, it's a bye-bye. Thank you so much.